Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is Nur Shazani Filza binti Sumeri. My matrix number is A4374.
My name is Akila Cahaya binti Muhammad Rizwan and my matrix number is A4275.
Hi, my name is Siti Maisara binti Muhammad Zain and my matric number is A4183.
Hi, my name is Nur Amira binti Idris Ghafli. My matric number 84079.
The objective of this activity is to identify and analyze the presence of flavonoid, saponins, and phenolic compounds in the sample using UV-vis spectroscopy. The second one is to measure the absorption spectrum of dyes extracted from the roots of Java ginseng itself. Here's how to prepare the sample solution. First, we need to wash the plant materials with tap water to remove dirt and impurities. Weigh and record the wet sample around 10 to 20 grams. Dry it in incubator at 40 to 50 Celsius for 6 hours, checking periodically until the mass remains constant. Second, once dried, grind the material into a fine powder. Place the dry sample into the grinder for 3 to 4 minutes until a uniform particle size is achieved. Transfer the ground sample to a clean, dry Ziploc bag using a spatula or brush. Clean the grinder after each use to prevent any cross-contamination. Divide the sample into a separate bag for easy access and store it in a sealed container with a silica gel to protect it against moisture, light, and contamination. The last step is to soak them. Mix a 100 gram of ginseng powder with 300 ml of 95% ethanol in a 1000 ml beaker. Stir it and let it soak for 72 hours at room temperature, shaking occasionally. Cover it with aluminum foil to prevent evaporation. After soaking, filter the mixture and collect the extract it in a 500 ml beaker. Store it in a room temperature, cover it with aluminum foil. And that's how you get the sample. So now I will brief about introduction to UV-vis spectroscopy. UV-vis, which is ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, is an analytical technique used to measure the absorbance or transmitters of a sample in the ultraviolet, UV, and visible vis light spectrum, typically 200 to 800 nm. So the function of UV-vis spectroscopy is first is to determine concentration. Okay, based on the Beer-Lambert's law, UV-vis spectroscopy helps determine the concentration of analyte in a solution by measuring absorbance at a specific wavelength. And the second is to identify compounds, which is different compounds have unique absorbance spectra and allowing for identification based on the absorption piece. The third is characterizing nanomaterials and proteins, used in material science and biochemistry to study nanoparticles, proteins, and other biomolecules.
Here is how the UV-vis work. First one is the light source. A device shines UVs and visible light onto the sample. Second, wavelength selection. The instrument picks a specific wavelength using a filter or films. Third, sample absorption. Some light is observed by the sample and the rest pass through. Fourth is the detector measurement. A sensor measures how much light got through. 5 is data analysis. The machine calculates an absorbance and creates a graph spectrum to show which wavelength were observed. Why is useful? Help is identify substance, measure concentration of chemicals, use chemistry, biology, pharmaceuticals, and environmental studies.
Next, result and discussion. The observation spectrum of Java ginseng root extract in UVV spectroscopy varies depending on the specific compound present and the solvent used. The extract typically contain bioactive compounds such as flavonoid, saponin, and phenolic compound. Each inhibiting characteristic observation peak for flavonoid peak is around 240 until 280 nanometer and 300 until 380 nanometer. Next, phenolic compound peak is commonly in a range of 200 until 400 nanometer. For saponin observation in UV reagent is typically below 300 nanometer. A peak observed at 400 nanometer confirmed the presence of flavonoid, saponin, and phenolic compound in the Java ginseng root extract. Okay, for the conclusion, the UV-based analysis confirmed that presence of flavonoid, saponin, and phenolic compound in the sample. The observance reading indicate characteristic peaks associated with these compounds, supporting their identification. This confirm the successful extraction and potential bioactive properties of the sample.